Hey everyone, welcome to Disney Movie Reviews. I'm Mr. Lane, and of course with me as always is Mrs. Emily, and today we're going back to our top 5 list. We haven't done one in a while, so I thought it'd be fun to do the top 5 Disney sidekicks today. So obviously every great character in a Disney movie needs a sidekick, so we're gonna see which ones are the best. Miss Emily, did you have any criteria for your sidekicks?
I did. You know, I always love to have criteria. To me, sidekicks sometimes can make or break the movie. Like, I'll mention a sidekick in a little bit that I did not put on my list, and probably why I didn't put him on my list, if he's on your list, which I feel like he might be.
I don't know.
And my criteria was how much they aid or help the main character, like what value they add to that relationship. For most of them. I think one of these in here I just put because I just love them.
That works too.
So I mean, I'm allowed to do that. It's my list.
That's true, yes.
But mainly my criteria was what help and value they added to the movie and their main character.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if I followed that exactly, but I did have kind of my own thought process as I went into it. I'll probably reveal that as we go through. I do have an honorable mention before we get started though. And it's Jiminy Cricket. I couldn't quite put him in the top 5, but I mean, he's such a great, character for Pinocchio, and he just really helps out in that movie. And like you said, like when talking about helping the main character, he's obviously a big
old help
part of that throughout the entire movie. So, love Jiminy Cricket, just didn't quite crack the top 5. Do you have any honorable mentions, Miss Emily, that you can think of? Or?
I didn't.
Okay.
No. I just stuck with my top 5. But
hey, that is
I like all the sidekicks out there.
Okay. Well, without further ado, we will get into the list. So, Miss Emily, we'll start with you. What is number 5 on your sidekick list?
Number 5 for me is Zazu from The Lion King. He's 5 for me and not higher because his voice sometimes is really annoying. But you gotta love it. He is that sidekick that probably no one wants, but everyone needs. And I really relate to him because he's just a control freak. He's just trying to take care of everybody. He's just trying to do the right thing. He's just trying to obey his king. That's all you can ever ask for a sidekick. I mean, Simba and Nala, they're super annoyed by him, but hey, if it wasn't for him, they might have been eaten by hyenas. So what are you gonna do about that?
Yeah, no, Zazu is a good choice. I do find him very annoying, so that's why he did not make mine. I feel like if it was just the one in the live action movie, I would be all on board
he's not
with that because he's not nearly as bad. But the first one, I can't deal with him. But that is a great choice for number 5. Number 5 for me is Baymax.
Aww,
I love Baymax so much. The little robot who just wants hugs. And I think that's why I like him so much because I love hugs, and so does Baymax. So I think we just are good friends. I actually met Baymax at Disney World and I gave him a hug, and so that was like one of the greatest moments of my entire life. So I love Baymax. He's just so caring, and like the humor that he has too is just so kind of dry in a way, but it's because he's a robot, so it's also like really funny. So I love Baymax. And you talk about helping the hero.
Yeah,
he is like an awesome
to the end
aid for Hero throughout that movie.
Yes.
So love Baymax. Miss Emily, who's number 4 for your list this week?
Number 4 for me is kind of a combination of the two because I can do that. And they don't really talk, which is why I felt like I could combine them. And it's more just so I really like them. I don't think they do that much to help the main character. It's Miko and Flit from Pocahontas. And I just think they're really funny. They're like very opposite. Flit is like trying to keep Miko in line the whole movie. Flit is the hummingbird and Miko is the raccoon. And raccoons, they're just little rascals. And I just love how he just is so funny and like always wants, like I watched this movie recently, so that's why it's fresh. Like he just wants John Smith's biscuits and he just wants Percy's bones. Like he's just trying to eat. And I relate with that as well. He's just trying to get a snack on. But they really do encourage Pocahontas and like help her, like lift her spirits. They might not help her like move the plot along of the movie, but she loves them and they are always there for her.
Yeah, no, that's a good choice.
They're with her the whole movie.
It's definitely an interesting choice because those are not always, like two that you go to right off the top of your head. Also, very interesting choices for them to make for Pocahontas' sidekicks to make them.
Isn't it?
A raccoon and a hummingbird, such like an odd.
Yes, and that's probably why I like it so much.
But,
just because it's just there, and they're higher than Zazu because they don't talk.
That does help quite a bit. Fun fact though, did you know that they actually originally thought about putting a turkey in instead of a hummingbird?
No, I much prefer the hummingbird.
I know. How funny would that have been though for like a turkey to be walking around with them the whole time? That would probably make my list if it was a turkey. I'm not gonna lie. I think that would be hilarious just for that fact alone. Number 4 for me though this week is Baloo from The Jungle Book. I love Baloo. He's such a fun character, and like from the moment he gets into the movie's pace just goes up dramatically for me. Like it becomes so much faster and just so
fun.
Yeah, so much more fun than the first. The first part's kind of dark and just like kind of gloomy, and then he just comes in as like a breath of fresh air for that movie, and really kind of saves that movie from the second half on. So really love Baloo. He's trying to do what's best for Mowgli, even though he does not necessarily think that's what's best for his relationship with him, because he wants obviously to keep him, and he knows what's best though is to send him off to the man village. And so I kind of like that, even though Baloo would rather him stay, he is eventually okay with him going and doing what's best for him. So I respect Baloo a lot for that.
Respect.
So yes, Baloo, you're an OG, man. You are 100. So now we're into the top 3. Miss Emily, who is number 3 on your list?
All right, and these kids might not know who this person is, because I went back deep because I recently watched this movie, and it stood out to me how helpful Little John was from Robin Hood, the ultimate sidekick. I think he's the same voice as Baloo.
It is the same voice.
So that was kind of trippy. But Robin Hood could not have done all that he did in that movie without Little John. He for sure could not have done all those things by himself. Like, there's several times in the plot of the movie where you think that King what? Because it's not King Richard, that's the main king.
I think it's Prince John.
Yeah.
Is the...
Yes. The not actual ruler. He keeps trying to get Robin Hood, and there's several times where he comes very close to getting him, but he doesn't because of Little John. And he's so great. He's so great. He's just on par. He's right on par with Robin Hood. He's very goofy, and he's very helpful to the movie. He makes it for me. He's great.
That's a great choice, yes. So it is the same voice actor.
Yes.
And pretty much the same design, too. They look
almost
exactly
the same person.
So it's very funny that they're right on the same pace, just a little bit with different characters. So that's awesome. Number 3 for me, and this was hard. My top 3 were extremely tough to differentiate for me, but it's Timon and Pumbaa coming at number 3 for me. Obviously, kind of the same deal with like Baloo. As soon as they come into the movie, it is so fun.
It's hype.
Oh yeah, not that the first half is bad or anything, but it's
sad.
It's so fun once they come in, and they really help Simba out a lot. Not only in a sense of like they actually go and help him get back the Pride Lands, but they also help him cheer up from his dad,
walk through his
being dead, and that's obviously very sad for him, and so they help him get through that, which is awesome. And so they obviously have one of the best sidekick songs of all time.
Undoubtedly.
Of Hakuna Matata. And then that scene where they do the luau, I mean, that is like a top 5 moment in all Disney movies, in my opinion. So
funny.
I mean, you just can't beat Timon and Pumbaa though, except there are 2 more that I thought were just slightly better. So, but they come in for number 3 for me. So Miss Emily, who is number 2 for you? I almost forgot where we were. So number 2 on your list.
Number 2 for me is Mushu from Mulan. And that is the reason why I will probably not be seeing this live action Mulan, is because there's no Mushu. And I go so far as to say is he makes the movie. He does. Like, he helps Mulan kind of pretend to be a man, like to be in the army, like, and that there are some things that are his fault, like whenever he shot the thing under the wagon to let the Huns know where they were. That wasn't great, but everything else he does is nothing but helpful. He helps lift her spirits, help her know that she can do it. He was there for Mulan the entire time. The best family guardian that a person could ask for, really. Love Mushu, and he's so funny.
Oh, yes.
Truly
Eddie
so
Murphy
funny.
Is amazing. Yes.
And if a sidekick is funny, it just adds points to me. So he makes the movie.
Absolutely.
Quite a mistake to make a live action Mulan without him, but we'll get into that another time.
I mean, I'm probably still going to see it just because it's a Disney movie.
Probably not.
But, I mean, it can't be worse than the live action Beauty and the Beast, so.
We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to talk
Well,
about
I
that.
don't have much more to add on Mushu because I think this is the first time this has ever happened on this show, but we actually agree on number 2.
How fun!
And I also put Mushu, which makes me very interested to see what we both put at number 1, because I kind of think we might be on the same page.
Oh, maybe.
Again, but I also put Mushu at number 2 for my list for a lot of the same reasons that you did. So I won't dive in anymore because you did a really good job of
Mushu forever.
explaining that. Yeah, Mushu though is just so funny. I love him. And he's there from almost the beginning too, which makes it even better. So he's like, it's not just like we have to wait for him to show up. It's like he's kind of just there the whole time. So it makes it even better. So
we get all Mushu.
Here we go. Number 1, I'm really curious about this now. Miss Emily, who is number 1 on your list?
My number 1 is Sebastian.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Not Sebastian from The Little Mermaid. For much the same reason. Man, does he help out Ariel. Like, in the beginning, he's like, trying to do what's best. Like, helping King Triton, trying to help Ariel, trying to help her kind of fall in line so she can stop getting in trouble with her dad. But ultimately, whenever she goes to see the Sea Witch and she becomes a person and he like doesn't really agree with it, he still puts all of that aside just to help her out and help her reach her goal, which is for Prince Eric to fall in love with her. Spoiler alert, he does. So, Sebastian, man, he just is the ultimate. He helps her out in every single way. He's just very sweet. He's a little like neurotic at the very beginning. I think I just relate with sidekicks that are very neurotic and controlling. But he really comes through. He's super funny, and man, can he sing. Yes. 2 of the best songs from that movie, he sings.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
He really is a little musician, that crab. And I just really like his back and forth with the chef that keeps trying to kill him. So, all around, Sebastian is a baller. Love Sebastian.
Yeah, no, Sebastian is great. I love Sebastian. I think for me, though, it's a lot kind of like the Zazu conundrum. I think because he is like so controlling in a way and like so all over the place trying to say everything, that kind of annoys me at times.
Yes.
Because I'm not necessarily 100% that, so.
Oh, and I am, so I always agree.
So
I'm
I feel like
he should. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so I feel like, sometimes he just kind of gets on my nerves. And so we did not agree on the number 1 choice there, because I did not put Sebastian. I put the genie from Aladdin.
I get it.
I was a little confused by this for a second, but then I thought about it and I was like, okay, yes, he technically is a sidekick. Yeah. But he's almost the main character of the movie at the same time.
Love him.
I mean, he kind of, once he comes in, he takes over the movie. And it's just fantastic. And I think my list kind of has a trend of like these characters who come in and they're just so energetic and they make the movie almost. Like Genie, I mean, you can't have Aladdin without the Genie. I mean, you talk about Mushu not being in Mulan, and it's like, in a way, I'm interested to see how that would work. But if they ever made an Aladdin movie without
it would not
the
work.
genie, no, I wouldn't even go see it
No.
because it's just like there's no way you can do that. And Robin Williams, the first one to do the genie, just so good. I mean, just so funny, and of course it's just his style. He's just so fast, and I think that's what really connects with me is just that fast, funny take that he does with it. So yes, Genie is number one on my list. And talking about songs, Friend Like Me has to be one of the top 5 Disney songs of all time.
It's
Not
so
even
good.
just like a sidekick song, but just one of the main songs. So when you have that in your sleeve too, I think that makes you pretty good.
Amen.
Pretty good sidekick. So we had some pretty good lists. We actually agreed on one and the exact same spot too.
I love that.
So I think that's the first time that's ever happened. But we want to know though what your top 5 sidekicks are, and if you have any suggestions for us to talk about on a future episode of Disney Movie Review. So make sure to let us know that in the Facebook comments on our Facebook page, FBW Kids. Also make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can make sure you catch all of the awesome videos that we are making, all right? So until next time, we will see you later. Bye.